Okay, are we on? Oh, we have to do the intro, the very important intro. Here we go. All right, welcome everybody to the what are we doing today? We're doing the Sotheby's Geneva auction preview, and we got the Red Baron in the house. Baron, thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
So we got a two-part sale. We're going to start with part one. There's a couple. We're going to go through this quick because there's a couple of really interesting lots out of this. There's like 300 in total. I think they got like 25. Well, let's say, I would say there's about 25 that are of particular interest that grabbed my attention. I don't know how many that you saw, but this is they got a lot of filler. I think in this sale, it's a lot of kind of, So we'll get to the good parts. We got. Is this on the screen? Yeah, we're on the screen. Okay. Let's get started. By the way, anybody joining, make sure you click the like and the subscribe button. And of course, get our free email newsletter. Click the link in the video description below to get access. Okay, so, they start off the first couple of lots is, the usual modern stuff, which is, again, you can get any of this stuff at retail for less than whatever it's going to sell for here. So I don't know what the point is. Now, I want to bring up this Patek Philippe because I think this is a particular disgrace to the brand. This is something that I've been talking about recently, and I noticed a couple of other these these Muppet Boiler Room channels have jumped onto what I've been saying is that Patek could be in danger of losing its really the brand prestige with some of these modern releases that are kind of. I don't know. They're just kind of, I don't know what they are. I don't know what to make of them, and I think Patek could be in danger. It's the stuff what they're doing now. Is it a dress watch? Is it a casual watch? If you look at the details, you got this like weird. I don't know what is like some sort of gear shade. It's just weird. It's a weird watch, and this was kind of a hyped up watch. It just looks like trash, pure trash. Your thoughts, Baron?
So I don't know. I think it's interesting what they're doing. They're doing something different. So I guess only time will tell whether this is successful or a flop. Yeah, because the pattern, it looks like some sort of combination between guilloche and like a carbon fiber weave. It's like a fake. It's a fake carbon fiber. That's what it's a fake carbon fiber. You know who's doing a real? But they're doing this fake carbon fiber in. What is it? What we're in 2024 now? I mean, this carbon fiber thing. I mean, that's like what people who were, like 17-year-old kids were doing that in their, their Toyotas, 20 years ago. Listen, it would have been interesting if it was, in the 90s, like we saw Gerald Genta did a carbon fiber dial in the 90s. Now that was avant-garde, that was avant-garde. To do it now, I mean, these guys are like very late to the game. Again, hang on, I want to bring up this. I have a new thing here. I want to show you this. Let me. Hang on a second. This is going to be the new slogan here. This guy here. Watch this guy. wait. No. Look at this guy. No. This guy. Wait. Fuck. Where'd this? Wait. I gotta look this up. Okay. Shit. Okay. This is gonna be the new expression.
If he starts speaking very loudly in your ear and borderline screams every time he's had a few drinks on a night out à la poubelle, if he's already planning his villa in Mykonos or Ibiza for his boys' trip this summer à la poubelle, if he ever needs to use the bathroom during dinner, leaving you all on your own at the dinner table à la poubelle, if his favorite thing to discuss is how London is not what it used to be, while comparing his favorite and least favorite members his clubs, à la poubelle. If he uses steam rooms and jacuzzis instead of saunas and cold plungers, à la poubelle. If he is not the last in and the first out of every party he attends, à la poubelle. If he stands on couches when dancing at nightclubs or lounges, à la poubelle. If he shops for items that are trendy or in fashion instead of prioritizing quality and comfort, à la poubelle. If he does not know exactly what both you and he would like to eat before the waiter approaches your table, à la poubelle. If he does not stand up to greet people and remain seated while shaking someone's hand, à la poubelle. And if he is not your full-time outfit photographer every time you travel overseas, c'est directement à la poubelle. If he starts speaking very loudly in your
Yes, so this is it. À la poubelle. How do we get rid of this guy here? How do we get rid of this? There we go. There we go. That's what this is. This is à la poubelle. Barry, you know what that means?
I do not. I was going to ask you. You're going to have to explain to us. Explain to us that had to purchase our aristocrat titles what à la poubelle means.
Yes, it's French. It means in the trash. In the trash. In the garbage. In the garbage. Yeah, this guy's very funny. I just came across this. This guy could be he could be an official baron. The Stad guy. The Stad guy. Stad guy. Yeah, it's funny. So yeah, this is look, the Patek Philippe, the modern Patek is purely we have to ask the Stad guy. We have to ask him. I think it's à la poubelle. I mean, it's no question. It's pas question. Oui? Okay, so now here we go. We got the Sex Tourist watch.
Yeah, Colonel, just going back real quick to that previous watch, just had a thought. So I think I read somewhere that the target market for Patek Philippe, right, was somewhere around 45. That's their target market, because that's when you're supposed to be like, at your peak disposable income bracket, like you're coming into it.
Yeah.
So if they're using that watch maybe to kind of remind these kids of back or these people that are kind of like middle-aged now, back when they were kids, back when carbon fiber, was like the new thing. So it could be a nostalgia play.
Oh, you think? No, I think actually going after a younger market. I don't think that watch is for 45. I think that watch is for like, basically they're trying to compete with, I don't know, whoever's going after like the 30-year-old. I mean, they're basically going after like, it's sort of the entry level. It's the entry level Patek is basically what that is. That thing. It's like an entry level. It's kind of what the Aquanaut was, 25 years ago. I think they're trying to get like an entry level. It's kind of it's really à la poubelle. Okay, so we got the Sex Tourist watch here, 15 to 30. Yeah, again, I don't think there's going to be any bargains here in these. So let's move along. We got, again, very hot, the Cartier Tank Chinois. This is new. Wow. We saw this in a couple of auctions, haven't we?
Yes, that's right. There's going to be a few other watches that are going to be coming up in part one that we've seen. We've done a previous review on. I think either the last live stream or the one before that.
There's a bunch of these. Look, there's a bunch of the stuff is which kind of modern stuff we're seeing. Just people are, I don't know. They just, I guess they put it in here. It's like filler or it's whatever. I don't get it. But okay, so here's something kind of interesting. Now, this is a watch we showed earlier on. This is the Audemars Piguet Tourbillon, and this one is in. The doll's got some. Let me tell you something. This AP, they, for whatever reason, they have issues with their dials. Their dials don't age well. That's an issue. A lot of their dials have some issues, older dials. So it's a very cool watch. We've seen this on Instagram. There's a couple of guys who've been pushing this. Again, the prices have risen from like 20 grand. They were going for retail, secondary market, I should say, to now they're in the 40s. They're asking, right? And here, this might be going for, again, 15 to 25,000. Swiss is the estimate. plus premium. Wow, I didn't notice this. Okay, so this is the thing where I hate these. This is the winding crown in the back. You got to pull this up. It's a kind of a pain in the ass. Have you ever seen these?
No, I have not, and that just looking at it, that can't be comfortable.
I don't know about wearing. I've never worn one, but I've tried to wind one. I've seen one. I didn't like it at all. Okay, so here we got the box. The box. Remember we had a conversation about the boxes. And this is actually like a decent sized box. It's not too big, not just okay. It's they don't need to make these giant boxes, right? This is a fine size. This is a very elegant box, I think.
It is. And considering its age, it's in pretty good shape. It's an amazing shape.
Yeah. I mean, but look, Patek Philippe. All these people, they need to take note of this. Look, this is how you make a box. You don't need to make a box which is the size of a refrigerator, right? This is first of all, it should never be bigger than this. And the only reason to do it this size is maybe you can have the booklets in there or whatever. That's all. None of these giant wood boxes with cheap wood made in, I don't know, where do they get this cheap wood, in the Philippines or something? I mean, Patek boxes are total trash. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so they made only 401 watches. 401 of these. Whoa, okay. So this is a number 7. Did they number these? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen a number in the back. But this is one of the first few that came off the assembly line. That's what makes it interesting. Number 7. By the way, that's a lucky number. Number 7. What if it was an 8? I don't know. The 8 might get higher because this actually does have a good feng shui thing, right? You got like a couple circles, 8 kind of shape. No, a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Good feng shui, rounded form. This is, I'll tell you something. These are worth keeping an eye on. You know what? I really believe that these watches, they do need to be restored. These dials. I'm not into this thing with original condition. No, you bring it into you gotta do some restoration. This stuff is nonsense. That these knuckleheads are original condition. Original condition. I don't care about original condition. I just want the watch to look good. All right, so let's take a look at. Hang on. Let's take a look at. Next up on the hit parade here. Next up on the hit parade, we got. Okay, we've seen this, right?
Yes, we have. Yeah, and then I was thinking about it, and also, in regards to your latest newsletter that just came out, I was looking at the sizing, classical sizing, 36 millimeters.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is, this watch looks to be in great shape. I mean, this is, I guess, anybody's chance to own an AP perpetual calendar at estimated somewhere between 20 to 40 Swiss francs.
So what are you on commission? Are they paying you? No, so this is okay. So basically, this is okay. You got the Tuscany blue dial, which is it looks pretty good in person. It looks actually pretty interesting. It's got this nice texture. There's a bunch more of these in the sale. So it's probably going to sell for, like, I would say 35 grand US all in. Not a bad deal for, again, platinum perpetual calendar. Again, just keep in mind, if there is a repair involved, it might be a little pricey. It could be 5 grand. All right, so we got some Richard Mille. Are you into the Richard Milles? This is quartz, by the way.
That's quartz? No.
Yeah, it's quartz. It says it's quartz. Quartz. A quartz TPT. Oh, wait. It's not quartz? It's not a battery? What is quartz TPT? Hang on. Okay. The Rafael Nadal encased in quartz TPT. Oh, it's a material. Signature material renowned for its lightweight yet durable properties. The watch is robust and elegant. Quartz TPT. What is Quartz TPT? I'd like to find out. That's kind of interesting. Quartz TPT. Hang on a second. Hang on. Let's Bobby Google this.
Did Marco ever get back to you?
No. He's part of the Taliban. Of course, he's part of the Taliban. Okay. Richard Mille hype. Okay, so let's Bobby Google. This is what chubby Marco would do. With a Taliban beard. He's very quick typist. He Googles as the thing is on the air. So basically, this TPT material is also used for the fastest sailboats. Lightweight, tough, and able to take any number of styles. TPT it's a composite. Interesting. Experimentation with materials began in 2012. Okay, sapphire crystal, and now it's quartz TPT. So TPT, it means thin ply technology. Okay, so you see this? That's it. That's the quartz TPT. They make this out of quartz TPT. So in TPT, okay, it's a thin ply technology, futuristic way. Wow, okay. So it's some sort of crazy composite material. Why did you begin working with TPT? TPT carbon. Printing. Okay. They print. Oh, is it they print it? It's one of these things that you can print. God, that's crazy. How does it work? They roll dry fibers. Okay, they go into a whole. I can't get into this whole thing. Whatever. Who cares? But okay, so I think it is printed, yeah, because you can see thin layers, right?
Yeah.
Digitally printed. Fascinating. Okay. We learn something new every day. Rafael Nadal. So this is 450 to 600 Swiss. Okay, we got some interesting APs here. By the way, did you see any? Did I pass anything that you want to talk about? I just realized.
No.
Not here. Okay. I don't think we've gotten to. I think the stuff you're interested in is in a few down the road. This is like the kind of the modern stuff here. Okay, it's interesting. They have like a selection of 6, 7. I think a couple of these are from the same guy. Maybe 5 of these are probably from the same guy. You got 3 of these pink dolls or salmon dolls, whatever they want to call it. And this is interesting. I think did we have one in a recent? Or we're going to have one in one of the upcoming newsletters. We're going to have one of these featured. This is. Let's take a look here. So this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the Okay, so this is the Jubilee edition, right? So this is based on the Jumbo. This came out in 1994. So you got this kind of very basic rotor with a display back. It's thin. Okay, you get that. Looks okay, right? So 50 to 80, not cheap by any chance. Again, it's limited, of course. The salmon doll. Okay. Big premium. You paid a big premium for this. Again, here's a modern one, 2002. Again, these are a little bit more rare, but again, the salmon doll adds a lot. It's a really big premium for these watches. This is the 39 millimeter. Yes. Oh, 36 millimeter. Oh, this is a 36 millimeter. Yeah, so this is going to be excuse me. Okay, so this is going to be one of these kind of rare because whatever. Okay, not a lot in this. I don't know. To me, it's not. It's to pay this type of money for just a color. I don't know what's the big deal. There's nothing really that unique about it. You got a JLC movement, a basic steel case. No big deal. Okay, so this is, again, we've seen a couple of these perpetuals, right? In the Royal Oak. This I don't think I've ever seen before. This salmon dial, no tapisserie pattern. And it looks pretty good with that salmon, the pink, the gold, the blues, the white. I mean, it really looks good. You gotta admit this dial.
Yeah, it does. But now I'm wondering, because it's got I guess not what people are expecting from a Royal Oak. How is that going to impact the pricing?
Oh, because it doesn't have the tapisserie?
Yeah.
No, people always want something different. I think they always want something different. They like the different. They want the Royal Oak case. I think they're okay, but a lot of these tapisserie dolls were not that great. Some of the older ones were not really that great. I think they just they really want the case. That's what they like. I mean, the tapisserie is not. I don't think that tapisserie doll is that big of a deal for the Royal Oaks, especially the early ones. I think it's the case. I think that they only started doing the tapisserie well only in the last 10, 15 years with the brighter colors. Like, this stuff is very boring. Like, I don't know, this is kind of a boring look, no? This is very small. It's very dull. It's nothing special. Really not. It's nothing. It's the case. It's like, yeah, I mean, the new ones look beautiful. They have I don't know if they're cut more deeply. They have more of an effect. These are okay. They're not really that great. These tapisserie dolls, it's really not their. I mean, Breguet does a much better tapisserie doll, of that same era. So this is really nothing special. Again, I think it's just the case.
Yep. Just going back, can we take a quick look at the Frank Muller?
Oh yeah, Frank Muller. Interesting you mentioned Frank Muller. Let's go to Frank Muller. Where is it? Yeah. Shit. I totally forgot about this. This is why you're here. I'm so glad you brought it up. Okay, tell us about the watch.
Okay, so now I'm wondering. All right, so their estimate is 50 to 100 Swiss francs.
By the way, it does not look like a Frank Muller, right? At all.
Exactly. So that's what I was wondering. So I mean, Frank Muller, the brand itself today doesn't have as much, I guess, weight as it did, like 30, 40 years ago. So that combined with, it doesn't look like a standard Frank Muller. I mean, it's an older watch. Do you think this is going to hit at least, let's say, the middle of the estimate?
Okay, this is a minute repeater also, right? It's a minute repeater.
Yeah.
Is that a number 7? Ooh, lucky 7. Yep. Well, number 1. Excuse me, number 1. No, I think this is a 1 of 1. This is a piece unique, basically. Yeah. This is okay. Did you read the catalog notes?
I have not looked at it yet.
You haven't? Shit! How did you know there was a Frank Muller then?
I mean, it says.
Oh, it just said. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. No, the catalog is amazing. Okay, so if you read basically, this is one of the first watches he made. So, okay, as such, this is very early complicated pre-brand watch by Frank Muller, a unique example, though only one of its kind, assembled in 1992. I guess he was kind of just getting started. And let's see here. Inside the case, there's a stamp JHF, which is the mark of Jean-Pierre Hagman, casemaker to the greatest brands and their most recognized prize pieces, such as the Patek Philippe Star Caliber 2000. So this is a historically important watch, and Monsieur Hagman assisted in the research. Okay, so this is, it's got the extra provenance. Setting pin and Jean-Pierre Hagman certificate included. So yeah, this is a Frank Muller, basically a handmade watch it's kind of like, he was the FP Journe of his day. I mean, really, he's basically an FP, complicated watches, etc. I don't know if maybe FP Journe is a little more whatever, but he was up there, right? There's, again, different stories about why the brand kind of, went sideways. I actually think there's some really good values in Frank Muller now. Some of their watches, the complications. especially if you like a bigger size watch. Some really good deals there right now. I think Frank Muller is making a comeback. We've seen some decent prices in I think it was a Hong Kong auction a little while back.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Frank Muller is making a comeback. This watch is, again, this is kind of that, high horology. This is a historically important watch. Perpetual calendar minute repeater by Frank Muller. And, the case made by, again, this guy who's like, again, these are two legends.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, right? So, I mean, this watch, it doesn't look like what people typically associate with the Frank Muller. So
No. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I was wondering, like, how that's going to impact pricing, because I'm thinking it's kind of like, like, so in your experience in the art market, right? So with one of the, let's say, the more well-known artists, you might have a painting from them, but you have one of their earlier paintings, which doesn't look like, some of the products that made them famous. Like, is that going to carry the same premium as their other work?
No. Okay. So no. By the way, that's actually a tremendous point, right? So again, like, look, with art, with watches, whatever it is, people want, they want the best of. You want to buy best of breed, right? You want to buy the thing that the guy is known for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I'm trying to think. Okay, like Andy Warhol, right? Andy Warhol. A top Andy Warhol pop art painting. I'm not even going to talk about Picasso. I'm not talking about Picasso. I'm talking about Andy Warhol, who's a guy who, contemporary guy, more or less, right? Died, 30 years ago, whatever, right? So, a pop art painting, right? Let's say Marilyn's or whatever, or something really, Elvis, big piece from the 60s, from his prime era. The prime era really is the pop era of the 60s. Could be worth $50 million, right? But an early work, like a student work he did, maybe it's a smaller, like a 12 by, I don't know, 10 by 12, whatever, small gouache colors, watercolor, could be only 20 grand, right? 20 grand. Something that he's not, like something early or an early Picasso, something Picasso did, before he started doing cubism or whatever, when he was, 19 or something, could be only worth, I don't know, 100 grand, whatever. Just for historical value. Just that it's more of a historical curiosity than, really something. Although, unless it's interesting, unless you see something in the piece which kind of points to where the artist was going. Like, I remember, like, speaking of Andy Warhol, I remember, like, there was an auction, I think it was on Bottoms a couple of years ago, and I wanted to buy this. I was like, do I really, it was a gouache. It was basically a watercolor gouache, whatever, something he did when he was a student in the 1950s. And it was like a realistic scene. It wasn't like, the pop art, the kind of the pop type of thing. It was sort of like a realistic type of social realism style painting done in the 50s, very, colorful, really, kind of caricatures of people, but it was like a diner scene, and it had like pop elements. So in a way, it was something that kind of prefigured what he would be doing with pop later on. I mean, it was beautifully, beautifully made. Like, so it wasn't like, the guy really knew what he was doing. It wasn't like people say, "Oh, anybody can do this." No, the guy really knew what he was doing. Like the guy had, it was a tremendous talent. But that piece, I don't know. I remember it had an estimate of like 20 grand or something, 15 to 30 grand, something like that, 20 grand. So back to this, back to Frank Muller. It's kind of, it's not quite, I think it's much more important than that, early, like, it's not a student work, like we'll call it. It's not a student work, right? I think this is more of, I think it's more important. It's not, in other words, it's not like an early Frank Muller watch, which is whatever. I think it's a significantly more important watch. It's a piece unique, right? Which also is very different in the world of watches versus art, right? How many watches are, piece uniques? Very few. Especially when you have two legends. So I think it does. I think this watch could get, it might get some really it might get some really decent money. So this dial, is this a silver dial? And it's tarnished? Is that what's going on? Silver dial.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Because, well, I know on the Breguets, they use gold dials, and then they put a layer of silver over it.
So this thing needs to be cleaned up. Again, I'm all for restoration. You know, as long as it's not just cosmetic restoration. Look at this. Look at this crown. The case. I mean, this thing is. Oh, these are okay. So instead of so here's what's interesting. So what I guess these are little pushers to adjust the date. So instead of where you have to use a pin or something.
Mm-hmm.
This is what do you call it? This is you can actually use your finger to push these, which is a nice touch. I mean, they're not too. I don't think they're going to get in the way. I don't think you're going to push these by accident. I think this is a fucking great watch. I think Frank Muller is going to make a comeback also. So I mean, not a huge comeback, but it's there's gonna be nostalgia for Frank Muller. By the way, he's very big. I think they're making a very big push in India, and so you're opening up a whole new market. It's 1.5 billion people, and at some point, 10 years from now, one of those guys, who starts collecting Frank Muller is going to say, "Hey, you know what? I'd love to have an original." Here you go. This is it. So I'm actually very bullish on this watch. Actually, when you look at it from here, right? You look at this picture. Look at this. I mean, this is just a beautiful watch.
It is. It is a good looking watch.
Would you rather pick? Okay, again, perpetual calendar. Hold on a second. Did I mention it's a perpetual calendar and a minute repeater and a minute repeater? So it makes the sound, right? It goes ding, 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 right? How much does the Patek Philippe perpetual calendar minute repeater cost? 500 grand, and it doesn't look as good, and it's mass production. I mean, not mass, but it's. This I mean, again, this, if you can get this for, let's call it 50. I think, listen, I think this watch, if somebody is like a real collector, if they have money, I mean, in other words, if they're in the market for stuff like 100 grand, like just as a, this is the watch to get. This is the watch to get, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? What are the tomato cans? What do the punters think? Do we have any punters in the audience to lend an opinion? I think this is a fucking great watch. Unbelievable watch. Yeah, very curious to see what happens with this. Thank you for mentioning it. I was going to talk about it, and I completely overlooked it when I was making the notes earlier. Speaking of unique watches, we got a George Daniels. You know this George Daniels guy? The British love him.
I do not.
So he's like a who's the other guy? Roger. He's the teacher of Roger Smith. So he's the OG of handmade, British watchmaking. Doing stuff. He was doing this stuff in this Breguet style. I think he started doing in the 60s, I believe, the 70s. All handmade, right? Like this beautiful. He does it in London, I guess. And if you notice he's got the crown. Does that position look familiar to you?
Oh, with the 8, kind of like on the Jacques Dro.
No, the crown, the winding crown. It's kind of like a what's his name? Like FP Journe, right? FP Journe copied this guy. I mean, that was a homage to this guy. So that's saying something, no? I mean, for people who are into watches. Look at this. This is really, pretty nice. Yeah, I think. Look, so FP Journe basically is, this is the real deal. FP Journe is sort of like the, well, I think FP Journe is more advanced, right? Okay, so let's look at the box. It's a very old-fashioned English box. Oh, and apparently George Daniels sent this guy a Christmas card. That's included. 350 to 550. 350,000 Swiss francs starting price plus premium. Big money. Not cheap. Okay, let's bring up the fact that there's an incredible newsletter available for the watch community. How do you get this newsletter? You click the button below in the video description. The button, not a button. It's a video it's the link. It's the link to get the newsletter. What are you going to get? You're going to get also special stuff, right, Baron? I mean, so the newsletter that you get, it's very different than the videos, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a quick read, and then you get 1 or 2 ideas from the newsletter that you can use for your next purchase.
And it's a little more high class, right? There's no what is it? No bad language, no. It's a little more scholarly, would you say?
Yes, absolutely.
Professional, more professional, slightly more professional in tone. We have an amazing writer doing this. It's No, So this is it's Pulitzer Prize winning stuff. You get it. It's absolutely free. Click the link in the video description below to get it. Again, George Daniels. This could be interesting to see. Interesting to see what happens with George Daniels. Let's take a look here. Now this is right up your alley. Breguet pocket watch. Would you buy this?
I'm just not into pocket watches, but it does have the Breguet look.
Oh yeah. Oof. Wow. Oh wow. That is. I love this. What do you call this? It's not a coin edge. It's beyond the coin. What would you call this edge here? This is stunning. I mean, this is like orgasmic, basically. This type of finishing. So no, seriously, this is like incredible.
It looks like I don't know how to describe it. It looks like a ribbon. It looks like something like fancy ribbon.
Yeah, it's incredible. 1805. This is 1805. They did this. I'm actually very intrigued. I think I gotta get a pocket watch. I think I'm gonna trade in the Submariner for a pocket watch. This is look at this. Wow. Amazing. In 1805, this technology. I mean, this is like. Now you had to use a special key to wind this. There's no crown. You got to have a little key you carry around with you to wind this. And I think the power reserve on these things is only like 24 hours. Catalog note. Sold on May 25, 1802 to Mr. Sweerts of Austria for 2,200 francs. That must have been a lot of money in 1805. Let's take a look in Google. Inflation calculator. Let's take a look. Equivalent. I mean, this is what this thing is called. Equivalent to 58,000 today. No, I think it's much more. Oh no! Oh shit! This is a bad thing. The francs. Okay. How much would be worth 100 francs? Would be worth 100 francs was 1 month's salary in the 1890s. Okay. Let's see. 100 francs in the 1880s, about a month of median income. So let's say the U.S. I don't know, 5-6 grand. So this is like $100,000 watch basically. In that day, it would have been 100 grand. Plus. Yeah. With eccentric seconds. Okay. Oh yeah. Look at that little seconds hand. I mean, that's, think about it. This is a very, look at this. This thing is done in 1805, and you have guys copying this style today, like FP Journe, others.
Yeah.
So this guy's like,
it's a timeless look.
This is almost 250 years ahead of its time. I mean, this is a very modern looking watch. It really is. I mean, look at it. Very clean design. Really, very clean design. You got this beautiful finishing, this coin edge, which is also really, again, modern. It's got a very modern look. And again, they did the best they could with the tools they had. I mean, with the finishing. I mean, that's, there was a limit to what they could do then. It's a bargain. 25 to 30,000 Swiss. I'd buy this.
So I guess the big question is how much of its what percentage of the pocket watch is original? Right, because the movement it looks too clean to be original from
why do you have to ruin everything? Yeah, it could be. We have to get the condition report, right? We got to get the condition report, and that's what they tell you. Like, here with Sotheby's, you gotta. Oh, it's so annoying. You gotta fill in the thing to get it, which is probably gonna say like, oh, look at the back. Wow. I mean, amazing. Really amazing.
Yeah, absolutely
amazing. I don't even care who cares? I don't care if they have a Honda engine in there. I don't care if it's the movement. I don't care about the movement. This thing is a fucking amazing watch. I'll put in a quartz. Oh, it's got 8s. This is good feng shui. 1019. Where is, okay. Maybe they steam cleaned this. What are you saying? Something is not original here? Wow, look at those gears. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen a watch from 18. I'm not an expert on this.
No, me neither. But it just looks like too free of tarnish.
Too good to be true. Okay. Let's take a look at another Breguet pocket watch. This one is a little bit boring, but you'd like this. This is right up your alley.
I'm actually not into the watches with only one hand.
Oh, okay. But the porcelain you like, though.
I love the porcelain or enamel. I'm big into that on dials.
Let's take a look. Okay, you get some Rolex. Okay, you get a Patek perpetual pocket watch. Okay, this is interesting. You got an FP Journe. Look at this.
Yep, that's one of the pieces I was looking at as well, and I was like, "Oh, this is an interesting look."
I know you like this very plain dials, and this again, I love this finishing on the sides. It's great, great. I hate the dial; it's too boring for me. By the way, I actually saw your watch. I was here at what do you call it? What's the store here? The Booker, and they had the Marine that you have, the Breguet.
Yep.
I never really looked at. I looked at the dial up close, and what is that made out of? What's the that the wave pattern on the dial? What's the material of the dial?
Oh, it's a gold dial.
Really?
Yeah.
You're kidding. It's a gold dial and they paint it?
It's a gold dial, yeah. And then they put whatever that blue coloring is over it.
Really? Wow. Okay, that completely changes my whole opinion of it. Wow. Okay, no, because I looked at it close. Like I thought it was some sort of like, it looked to me, like plasticky looking. The blue, it looks gimmicky, right? But when you look at it up close, because I've never really noticed the one in person. I've never really paid attention to them before. I think I saw it for the first time up close in person for really the first time I really paid attention. And I was like, wow, this is a really well done, this wave design. It's kind of a modern, very kind of modern look.
Yeah.
It's not hokey.
Yeah, because that was one of the big complaints when they did the update from the previous version, is that they simplified the guilloche. But when I was comparing the two watches, just looking at it, be like, no, I like the modern one, even though it looks like it takes less work to do. It does have a much more modern look to it.
Yeah, it's a modern looking watch, pretty much. Right? Look at this. Wow, look at the back here. Amazing. So this is silver and pink gold. Tourbillon. Oh, you got to open this thing. You got to open the back. It's like a pocket watch, right? You got to open it to see the tourbillon. Yeah, this is great. 200 or 400,000. This also, I think, is. I mean, again, you're into that stuff. You want a real FP Journe. This is the one. This is like. Hang on, let's look at the catalog notes. It was a limited edition of 99 pieces to commemorate the creation of his first pocket watch in 1983, cased in the same material that he used 30 years ago. Okay, so I guess he made a pocket watch like this 30. That was his first pocket watch. Escapement, blah blah blah. The grenade, highly regarded Grave Emile technique. Requires the highest skills for perfect execution, and the production cost of these dials was so high it was progressively abandoned. Okay, yeah, interesting. Furthermore, one could see the influence of Dr. G. Daniels on the original creations of Mr. Journe. The mutual respect and high esteem of the two watchmakers transpires in these early pocket watches. And this, okay, so yeah, interesting to see what this goes for, because I mean, FP Journe is, again, white hot. Okay, stuff we've seen, blah blah blah. Just stop me if you see anything you want to talk about.
Could we scroll back up and look at the old
The
two Rolexes?
Oh, the two Rolex? Which Rolex?
It was right above the FP Journe. Yep, those two.
Wow.
Yeah. So
what do you?
Yeah, I know. I was just it caught my attention just because it just looks so different from modern Rolexes. As we discussed during the previous live stream.
And look at the coin edging. That's the coin edging. It's all about the coin edging, as far as I'm concerned. Look at that. Yeah, you got to have the coin edging. It's interesting. This kind of looks like a Universal Genève of that time, but finer, a little bit finer, more elegant with these dolphin hands, which look really good. They look very well preserved. I mean, compared to the dial is like all whatever.
Yeah. But I think it actually looks good just because it's got the contrast, because like the dial's dull and then you got the hands and the indices that just stand out.
36 millimeter. Interesting. 15 to 30,000. I mean, I don't know. Sounds to me like a decent price for, vintage Rolex. Complication. Yeah. Because Think about it. The Universal Genèves, the compacts or whatever, those are about, let's say, 5,000 for something like this. So you're paying, well, let's just say if it's going to be on the low end, 3 times because it's Rolex. Could be. Is it better? I don't know if it's better. Is it? Yeah, you get the coin edge here. Look at that. Oh, and along the lugs. You see that? That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
Pink gold. I mean, these guys were doing so much better back then. 1938. This must have been smaller also. Oh, 36. Yeah. Yeah, look at this. Okay, so this is the box that the watch really needs. This little coffin box. That's all you need. The little coffin box, the green box. That's how they originally came, in a box like that. That's what they gave you. They gave you this little box. They didn't give you this. And the idea was, I mean, if you gave it as a gift, you carried it in your jacket pocket, and you whipped it out, and you gave it as a gift when at the appropriate time. So, I don't know. Any thoughts? Any further thoughts on the Rolex?
No, I just wanted to point this one out. I think this is something good to keep an eye on, just to see, what it goes for.
You know what I think? I think it's actually. Look, you know what's fascinating? Look at these the tomato can watches. The modern, let's call tool watches, the Submariners, the Milgausses, the Daytonas of the of the 60s, which are going for crazy money, right? Versus these. Why? Why is that? Why is the Daytona going for bigger money than this? I mean, again, let's call 20 grand for this watch. For 20 grand, I don't know. Listen, again, it's the dollar's got a little bit of, I don't know, it's got something going on. Is it a crack? Machete chip? Listen, here's the thing. I think this is such a much better value. Actually, I don't know is it a better value compared to the Daytona. Why? Again, ask yourself, why are some of these Daytonas going for crazy money versus this? I mean, what would you say is the logical reason?
I think it's hype. There's just a lot of demand based around hype. So who knows? Let's say 20 years from now, is there going to still be the same demand for Daytonas, or is it going to move on to something else?
I think that we have seen peak Daytona, or actually peak vintage Rolex. We're talking about 60s, 50s, 60s peak vintage Rolex. I mean, the stuff we're seeing right now is, I think the market has jumped the shark already. The Paul Newman, the Paul Newman Daytona. What is it, 17 million? Yeah, I mean, the market's jumped the shark. Look, at the end of the day, there are tool watches, right? Tool watches. Functionality between this and the modern, or like a 60s Daytona, I don't know, maybe is it slightly more reliable? Possibly. Is it more, it might be water resistant. Actually, I don't think those were water resistant, right? The Paul Newmans, the 60s. I don't think those were waterproof. I don't think they had real. Those were not. I don't think you could jump in the pool with those. So what is okay? So what you might say is this. What somebody could say is, okay, no, the reason those are valuable is because those have, again, like going back to the example of art, okay, that is the Rolex. Look, when you think of Rolex, again, that is the watch, the Submariner, the Daytona, that's the look. Whereas this is, other people were doing this look in the 30s and 40s, right? This is pretty typical watch in the 30s and 40s. This wasn't anything special. Patek, Universal Geneva. I mean, you can go down a whole list of guys who are doing this. And also, actually, no, I shouldn't say the move. No, they didn't have their own movements even up until last, I don't know, was it 20 years or something? So this is, it's an interesting, I mean, again, look at it. It's a big, this price disparity, you know? You got a 10-to-1 or more price disparity between this stuff and the stuff from the 60s. And I don't think the look is that much different. I mean, I guess, okay, it looks kind of cool, more modern or whatever. But you know what? They're still relatively, you're not going to wear those every day. You're not going to wear a $200,000 or $300,000 Paul Newman every day of the week. Neither would you wear this watch every day of the week. So, and I would argue, look, a lot of the reason people are buying it is, they want to show it off, right? They want to say, hey, look at me. I got a, oh, you got a new Daytona? Oh, my Daytona is more valuable. Mine is, that's the idea, right? I mean, in reality. And I got to tell you, this watch, I think you're going to see less of these than you're going to see of the Paul Newmans.
No, absolutely.
More interesting. I mean, this watch is a lot more interesting. As Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary would say, oh, it's a real conversation starter. I mean, this is the conversation starter. Because if you're going to like one of these, let's say you go to a watch meetup with a bunch of these tomato cans, right? And for sure, there's going to be, half the people are going to have a Daytona or something like that, right? Maybe even some sort of vintage Daytona or vintage Submariner. I guarantee nobody's going to have this.
Yeah, I agree.
And you're never going to get robbed for one of these. I mean, you could be walking in Mayfair in London, 2 a.m. You're never going to get robbed for one of these. A Daytona, yeah, sure, that's recognizable. So I think there's a real value here. I think there's a real value in these watches. Okay, again, look at this. You got John Player Special, 14K yellow gold. 1969. So again, do you think this watch looks better than the one we saw? I mean, just, apples to apples in terms of aesthetically. Is there any something? Forget about the modern part of it, aesthetically.
Yeah. So I would put them in two separate watch categories, right? Because the older one that has more of a dress watch aesthetic to it, while this one has more of a sports watch aesthetic to it. So I would put them in two separate categories, even though they're kind of basically the same function.
But let's be real. When you say sport watch to me means that you're going to be, swimming in it. You're going to play golf, whatever, You're going to be doing, who knows, I don't know, whatever, cutting off catalytic converters.
Okay,
you're not going to do that.
But at the same time, I mean, what's the the water resistance rating on a Royal Oak, right? It's like 30 meters.
Yeah.
So it just has that look. It doesn't necessarily have the capability.
Look, that's the thing that I don't like. That's the thing I don't like. When something has a look, but it doesn't perform, right? It looks like it can, but it doesn't. It's like, it's a scam. So
yeah. Okay. But at the same time, though, you've got all these diving watches, but no one actually takes them in the water.
Right. Again, same thing. I that bothers me. I don't like that because to me that's I don't know. It's not authentic. It's not authentic, as they would say. Okay, so this is Alpine Research. What is Alpine Research? Let's read. And the one most Alpine Research. The mystery cross, the most elusive vintage Daytona ever made, until recently being found in only 3 examples. The emblem consists of the Swiss cross, a periscope linked the logo to these supply sacks present during the ascent of Mount Everest in 1952, which were themselves supplied by the Swiss Foundation. of Alpine research. A significant and fascinating help. Understand. Okay. So was this used to ascend Mount Everest? This was an expedition watch. This might have actually gone to Mount Everest, right? Wow. So that's an extra. You got to pay extra for that, right? 250 to 500,000. It's interesting. Again, it's one of these story watches. Now, again, if you're buying into a story, right? Here's what I think. Okay, so you're buying into a story because you like the idea that, okay, this watch went to Mount Everest or some bullshit like that, or somebody was gonna go, whatever. As far as all it has is an engraving of watches that may have gone to Mount Everest, right? Or you could have a Frank Muller watch, the first watch he made, like the first pre-production Frank Muller, which is a minute repeater perpetual calendar, and it looks amazing. Or you can have this watch again, which looks like any tomato can watch. It's made out of cheap tomato can materials, I don't know. What would you rather? What would you rather get? Would you rather? Let's just say, would you rather pay $300,000 for this or $100,000 for the Frank Muller?
I don't know. I think it depends on the type of person that's buying that watch. I think for the most part, I think people want watches that are recognized. So they don't necessarily want something that's like, all right, it may be historically significant, but no one really knows kind of what it is.
Yeah, right. So what I'm saying is, look, you want to go against the grain. Don't be a tomato can following the sheep. I mean, it's like the time to buy the Daytonas was like 30 years ago, right? I mean, when nobody wanted them, right? Nobody wanted the Daytonas 30 years ago. And now everybody wants it. It's like the Aquanaut. Nobody wanted the Aquanaut, and nobody wants the Frank Muller. I'm saying Frank Muller, the time could be now. Okay, so we got the 3940G. I have a personal bias towards this watch. This is what do we got here? This is it's got a service invoice. Okay, 2021. So this is gonna circa. Okay, so this is second series. Let's see how these do. So my watch is the final series, circa 2005. Second series. It would be interesting to keep an eye on the 3940s. Again, more people are talking about the 3940s. Even some of the tomato cans, some of the Muppet Boiler Room channels, who are these tomato cans? The Watch Colony, these knuckleheads.
Yeah,
the Watch Colony. That's like the tomato cans from the Tim Wright channel. So I think one of those guys is talking about getting a third. Now, listen, actually, I'd be very deeply insulted if any of those people actually bought a real Patek, because I don't want to have peasants buying Patek Philippe's, because it ruins it for everybody. It drags the value of the brand down. When you have these let's say a Tim Wright or that degenerate what's his name, who's that guy, the pedo face, OC, whatever he calls himself. If a guy like that bought a Patek Philippe, it would ruin the value of the brand. I mean, if that guy bought a 3940, it would totally destroy the value. I would sell it the next day, because once that guy buys, that means that's the top of the market, because that's like that's like the crayon eater. That's like the guy who chases after the hype watch. He's got to have something that's recognizable, because he's the groomer, right? We're not going to get into that part in this show because this is a family-oriented show. But this is not. This is not about getting watches to impress people, to impress the peasants. So I don't want to see peasants getting into these watches. I mean, they should stick to the basic, the modern, what's that shitter, the a la poubelle watch we showed early in the show. That's the watch that those guys should be buying, not the good stuff. Okay. By the way, remember we showed this watch and we tried to get Taliban Marco to answer the question. How do they know about the leap year? Well, this is the one with the leap year.
Yeah, this one has it, but the other one doesn't. I don't. I think the other one was it was just mislabeled as a perpetual when it should have been an annual.
No, it's a perpetual.
But the other
Wow,
one didn't have that that indicator.
No. I don't know how they did it. I have no idea. No, it was definitely perpetual. No, it's no, it's definitely perpetual. This is well, you know what? Shit, I don't want to say definite. Who the fuck? No, it was a perpetual because it said in the, unless they're lying or they made a mistake, but they specified because they didn't do this little the leap year thing till later. So it's I don't know. I don't know. Complain to the manager. I mean, I don't know. What am I going to tell you? Okay, so this is look at this fucking box. Okay, 1985. You got this giant box again. Very.
It looks like a humidor.
Yeah, that's what I would use. At least this is actually probably a good quality box. Very earth unfriendly. But let's take a look at this. The 3540. I mean, this actually looks really beautiful. It does look, unlike, I don't know. Is it? I don't want to say it's, it's not quite vintage looking, but wait, this is made in 1985. So right before the 3940. It's kind of interesting. So it's kind of late. It's a little bit late in that production. Direct descendant of the highly successful 3448. Okay, the most obvious difference between the 3450 and the 3440 is the addition of a leap year indicator to the dial, right? So I don't know I don't know. Other differences include the case back, which introduced in 1981, seems to have totaled only 244 pieces. They only made 244 of these. That's interesting. That is interesting. I did not know that. So very limited production. Now, how do you? Let's see this. Yeah, pretty interesting. Now, how do you change? How do you change? There's only one pusher, so how do you change? That's interesting. That's an interesting question, right?
It might be something to do with the crown position. It might have 4 positions or something.
Oh, you got to do the crown and then push. Okay.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that makes sense is to have more than the standard 3 positions on the crown.
Yeah, this is no, it's interesting. It's good looking watch. Good looking watch. Okay, so
Can we look at a 92?
For you, of course. So we got a modern. This is a modern Patek.
Yeah, so I was thinking that I was like, oh, this is kind of like any other perpetual, except it's got the Arabic numerals instead of the indices.
And what does it have? Oh, it has it's a day-night indicator also.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is okay. So this is the thing I don't like. This is the modern thing that they're doing, right? This kind of more modern look they're trying to do, which I don't know what it is. It's a neo vintage modern because they could make a modern looking watch, right? If they wanted to do a dress watch, modern looking, whatever. Again, the Code 1159, they're doing a good job of it, for whatever, or they're going in the right direction. This thing, I don't know. They're trying to make it. They're trying to give it this vintage look. They're trying too hard with this. Like, I don't want a homage dial. I mean, I don't want a fake vintage watch from Patek. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, with some of these other cheaper brands, if it's like a $500 watch that does it's a Hamilton watch that does a vintage homage or something, okay, it's fine. But for Patek Philippe, come on, it's a little bit beneath them, I think. This kind of vintage vibe thing. I don't like this. À la poubelle. À la poubelle. Okay, let's move along to this. Part 2. We got interesting watches. Okay, this is gonna be a lot more interesting here. Let's go. This is the punters are gonna rebel because you got a lot of boring watches here in this sale, actually. So let's go to. Okay, let's go to some of the more interesting stuff. There's only about a dozen here. Okay, lot 220 is lot 220. Okay, again, this is something again. We saw this before. The King Cobra. Some of these sold. One of these sold at a pretty high price, like 30 grand or something. I forgot which auction it was. Was it Hong Kong or somewhere? Which was a crazy price, I thought. For this Cobra, the AP Cobra. So it would be interesting to see if the trend continues, right? See what happens. If this gets a high price, it means that something is happening with these watches. Maybe, but I don't know. These are they fit very, very. It's a very awkward fit. Very awkward fit. Okay. Now this is again. We got the perpetual calendar here, right? Now these are now selling. They went to crazy prices, right? They were selling for about 8 grand a couple years back. They went to like 20 grand or 50, whatever, some crazy numbers. They're settling down now. The estimate here is 6,000 to 8,000 Swiss. Are they saying that the correct price is 10 grand? For 10 grand, so it could be a very good deal. I would buy this if it was 10 grand.
I just want to point out this one is it's a 30 millimeter, so that's probably why.
No, wait, no, it's 36. No, it can't be 30. What? It says 30. No, it's got to be a mistake. It's got to be a mistake. No, it's got to be a mistake. They can't make this. No, it's got to be a mistake. I can't believe this is 30 millimeter. Oh, it's got a number 78. I can't imagine this is 30 millimeter. Does it look like a 30 millimeter watch to you?
It's hard to tell in the photos. Okay, so let's mark this one down. 223. Something to take a look at.
Here's another one. Okay, hold on. You got one right here. You got another one right here. Same watch. Same price, and this is 33 millimeter. No, I know they're small. It may not be 30. I'm not sure what the size is. I'm not sure what the size is actually. I think it's 30. No, this is a slightly different model. Okay, this is a slightly different case. This is a slightly different case. They got another one here. I'm sure they're gonna have another one here. No, they don't. Okay, I don't know about that. I don't know. That'd be interesting to know. Is it like some sort of freak watch? These are two different. The lugs are different in these, right? Also different metal. This is, I think, some sort of anniversary watch, whatever. Okay, Disco Volante. These are actually really cool. This. Wait, this is 1998. That's ridiculous stuff. À la poubelle. I mean, this really should be a 60s watch. Oh, number 50 of 50. Okay, that's interesting. So it's a limited edition, but still, this is a 1960s design, 50s design. That's kind of wrong to do a direct copy like that. It's just wrong. It's wrong.
What's going on with 230?
This is disgusting. I mean, this is just too much.
Yeah.
Is this a bust down watch?
It looks like it, but do they even
Would they
put
sell
bust down?
13 to 25? They don't have anything mentioned here. Oh, diamond set. I don't know. It's interesting. It just looks awful. It's got to be a bust down. Yeah, look at the diamonds here at the top. They look a little bit uneven, no?
It does, but it could also just be the photo.
Yeah. I'm not an expert on diamond setting. I can't tell you. But it's something that looks off. It just looks off. It doesn't look like quality. It looks like some sort of cheap stuff in there. Okay, again, you got one of these modern shitters. I'm just not into this. This is the à la poubelle. Some Patek. This is. Look. I think we're seeing a lost decade with Patek. It's a little bit like, I remember, it's like Mercedes. You know, the Mercedes S-Class. Like they always had like these really cool cars up until I think 2005, and then they did these like weird design that lasted for like almost 10 years or 8 years. That for that generation. And now they look okay. They look okay now. But like 2005, 6, 7, 8, they look like garbage. They got these look weird, like flared wheel wells or something. It's like a lost decade. Like Audi, I think, has now. Maybe they're going through it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned with Patek. I think Patek is on the verge, possibly, of ruining their reputation. No, I mean, they are ruining their reputation. There's no question. I think a lot of the tomato cans don't recognize it yet.
All right, but going back to when they had what was it, the Neptune?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, disaster of a watch.
So it could just be something like that. They're just trying something to see if it works.
Yeah. No, look, actually, here's the thing, and again, we've said it before. Patek has released many dogs over the course of their history. Many dogs. Not the course of it. I'm talking about the modern history. I'm not talking about like whatever they were making pocket watches. I'm talking about the dogs being released from the 70s on. They did a lot of dogs, and the Neptune is a massive dog, but I think they have too many dogs right now. They got quite a few dogs, so I don't know. Maybe they're just figuring let's throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. Aquanaut. Look at this. All of a sudden, everybody's crazy about this Aquanaut today.
Yeah. Could we look at that?
It could be. I am completely wrong, and that watches like this is the future, and I'm just stuck in my ways. What do I know? But I love the idea of having this this calendar wheel like that on a hand. Actually, I like that. I just think the design is with the numbers, the Arabic numbers on a calatrava. It's just too messy with a second hand. It's like whatever. Who needs this shit? It's too like
I don't know. It's got this kind of like kind of like I don't know. It reminds me of Egyptian. I don't want to say hieroglyphics, but it's kind of got that general aesthetic.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a la poubelle. All right, let's move along. Let's move along.
235.
235. Again, a la poubelle. This is another one. This is like yeah. You like this watch? No, don't. You like
so
weird
that
stuff.
that one stood out to me because it looks like so Omega, I think like maybe 3 years ago or something like that. They released the watch. It's only available for like 6 months. It at the time when it was released, it had a lot of hype to it. It was the Omega CK 859. So that
hang on.
has.
Hold on. I just saw this. Hold on a second. I just saw this post. What was he talking about? The strap is 20 millimeter wide. Lionel, which watch? Which watch? I just noticed your chat. So which watch? I think he was talking about the 36 mil. I think he was saying that the AP was 36 millimeter because the 20 millimeter strap. I don't know. I think that's what he was saying.
So,
Back,
so I mean, if that is the case, if that is, I guess they just put a typo in for the diameter size. That could potentially be a good buy.
hang on. Okay. Wait. So, oh yeah. So yeah. So he was saying that 20. Yeah. So that Audemars Piguet perpetual calendar is 36 millimeter or something like that because it has. He's saying it has a 20 millimeter wide strap. So that would make sense. Unless it's some weird thing, but I've never heard of a perpetual calendar being, excuse me, 30 mil. I've never heard of one being 30 millimeter. So, yeah, so this is, again, let's see what happens with those prices. It'll be interesting to see if those prices decline. So these are bellwether watches, but this watch here, à la poubelle. Okay, so we got, let's move along. We got the 243. Okay. Beautiful Calatrava, 1970s, right? I think this, I don't know if this is a sunburst dial. I think it is. Yeah, it is a sunburst dial. I remember seeing one of these in London about 6 years ago, and I think it was like $8,000 US. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And yeah, of course, it sold pretty quickly. But these are amazing in this blue dial. These are really amazing. I don't know what this is, it's, but yeah. So this is under 10 grand. You can get this amazing Patek Philippe, the blue dial. I mean, the pictures don't do it justice, is what I would say. 33 millimeter. Manual wind, which is fine. I'm very happy with manual wind. Wow. So, the Pope's watch. Remember we talked about the Pope's watch?
Yeah.
It's basically this. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, it may be the automatic. The design is basically this, like this type of design. These hands, this whole thing, except the dial is like a deep purple instead of a blue. It's a deep purple. The Vatican watch, and it's amazing. The purple is really an incredible look. And it doesn't have any logos or anything. It's just a purple dial. Okay, we got a 3940 rose gold. So we're going to have some real bellwethers in this auction, including the Nautilus. Not the Nautilus, excuse me, the Aquanauts. So we'll see what happens over there. We got some, again, because this auction could affect the market. Now, this is an interesting Cartier minute repeater, flying tourbillon, titanium. It's titanium. So it has that good sound, right?
Yeah.
Nice box, right? Not too big. Let's zoom in. Let us zoom in, shall we? What do you think of this? Wow, look at it. It's the thing that's holding the tourbillon. It's got the Cartier logo. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, it does.
You know what's interesting? I just realized. Wait, this is titanium. It's titanium. I mean, Cartier. You don't think of Cartier doing that. You think of Cartier doing, platinum maybe, but usually gold, right? Usually gold. It's kind of interesting that they're doing something so high tech.
So on the top row on that page, there's also, I think the first two Cartiers are kind of just, not what I would typically think of when I think of Cartier.
Over here?
All the way on top, 249 and 250.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. It's kind of modern. I don't know. These are meh. Yeah. This would be cool, except this is quartz. It's a quartz shitter. This is you got gold, you got diamonds, lacquer. I mean, yeah, this is a woman's watch, quartz. But it would be a cool watch if it wasn't quartz. Let's see. Um, okay, stop me if you see anything. Wait, let me just. I want to just point out 258. 258. Okay, yeah. So you got another one. These Vacheron. There's a Vacheron chronograph. Just like the Rolex we saw.
Mm-hmm.
Same era. Look at the hands. Beautiful. Like these sword hands are actually really nice compared to a lot of their, good looking watch. Like I don't know. This is again 1937. Okay, so the question is this: the price is almost the same. What would you go for, the Rolex or the Vacheron? I mean, pound for pound, these are. Oh, the Rolex is 36. This is 34. Again, they might be making a mistake, so we really don't know. I don't know which one is bigger or smaller, but what do you go for, the Vacheron or the Rolex?
I think the Rolex is more visually striking, so I would prefer to go for the Rolex.
What about the value, historic importance? Vacheron chronograph, Rolex chronograph.
I don't know, that's tough. I mean, okay, so with the Rolex, right? That is, from the 40s, so it was a different era then, and the actual look, it's just like a time capsule where I don't think Rolex is going to repeat that look again. While with Vacheron, they like to reach back into their back catalog and then revive, the older watches.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah, the Rolex is the deal. That's the special watch. Okay, so we got a world time from Louis Vuitton.
The Arnault Jr. has one of these.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Do you think he paid? Do you think he had to pay retail for this watch?
I don't think he paid for it. His dad probably just gave it to him or something.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know this watch. It's an Illuminati watch. You got the pyramid. Yeah, this is the Illuminati watch. I mean, it's actually, you got to respect it. The terms of the creativity and the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know, but just from like the design and the colors, it feels it's either more towards like a woman's watch or a watch for like a teenager in their early teens.
Children. Yeah. No, it's like the Alain Silberstein. Those 90s watches, the Alain Silberstein. That's a type of vibe.
No, but this watch is perfect for I forget his first name, but for Arnold Jr. Just because it's no. Yeah. Who now who runs LV's watch department?
The watch business.
Just because he's like, I mean, like I'm assuming he's had that watch for a while, so he probably got it when he was a teen. When it was
that makes sense. Actually, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense because this watch is circa 20. This is 10 years ago almost. How old is that guy? Is he in his 30s? I don't think he's 30.
Let me look it up.
Jean Arnaud, I think it's Jean Arnaud. He's probably so it could be he got it when he was
he was born in 98.
In 98. So that means he is
26.
Oh shit, that guy's 26? Oh my god, wow. Wow. I have socks older than that guy. Okay, so he's 26. So yeah, so that would be right. Yeah, so he got this watch when he was like 18 or something, or 17.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so he probably thought this was amazing, and I don't know. That's it. So let's see. Oh, this is a really interesting one. Hang on. Oh shit! Oh, okay. No, there's one coming up. There's one coming up here. Okay. There's one coming up, which okay, here we go. Okay, now this watch, I was looking at this. I was like, wow, you know what? To me, this is an Audemars Piguet, right? Very unusual. This is a limited run they did. Apparently, nobody liked it. It's called the Metropolis. And again, the dial, if you look at it, it's kind of has that aquanaut thing. It's kind of that incised, whatever you want to call it. It's got the aquanaut vibes. This sort of like Fritz. What's that movie? Metropolis, that 1930s, 20s, whatever it was. Fritz, whatever. It has a world time. You see that? It's got a world time function. It's a perpetual calendar with a world time function.
That would explain the dial, because that it's kind of like the globe with the grid on it. That pattern I've seen it used a lot for world timers.
So this is what a cool watch. I mean, this watch pretty much has everything I would want. Almost. I mean, I would like a rotating bezel for timing things, but you got dual time, you got perpetual calendar, got a nice display back. What is the price going to be? That's the question. What's the price going to be? But I mean, and I don't know. I'm not sure how much experience Audemars Piguet has in doing these world times. So I don't know how reliable the watch is. Because if this breaks, I don't want, that could be a real issue. That's the only concern is, any type of AP service is going to be pricey. So I'm not sure how reliable. I'm not aware of any other world timers that they have. Are you? Audemars Piguet?
No, nothing really comes to mind. So I mean, that could also be promising because they probably just bought the movement from someone else.
Yeah, it's let's see here. But I really like this watch. And this is probably a bigger watch also. That's the only thing. It's a 39 millimeter, so it wears like a big 40. But this is a good looking watch. The numbers, this is not for everybody. Those, the 10, 2, 4, that thing that, I don't know. What's your take on this? You like the look of the dial?
I think it works for this watch. It's different.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I think it works. It works for the design of the watch.
It has a bit of a Frank Muller look. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's got Frank Muller. You know what? That was the thing in the back of my mind. I was wondering what bothers me. It's got the Frank Muller vibes with these crazy numbers. It's got a bit of a gimmick going on. Now this is interesting. This is an AP, but look at the way the strap is attached. It's pretty interesting. It's a quartz shitter though. Yeah, this is a real 80s watch. Wow, look at this. It's leather. This leather strap is, that's a good looking little strap. Why are they not doing anything like this today? Is this a woman's watch now? No, it's a men's watch. Yeah. This is a real 80s. What's that?
So you could probably have the ribbing put in on a custom strap.
Not this time. No, I don't think you can. No, you can't. Not like this. 4 pieces? No, I don't think anybody does this. I've never seen this ever. And it looks great. I mean, it's interesting. This is kind of like a you can see like the Hublot influence here. It's got Hublot vibes. Okay, let's see what else we got. All right,
let's take a quick look.
Breguet.
Yeah, let's take a quick look at the Breguets, for example, like 306, right? Because I think it's starting bid at 80,000 Swiss francs. It just seems a little high for a watch from 2006.
Whoa. Are they crazy?
Yeah. So I'm just curious as to, you know, if this watch catches any bids, and if it does, you know, like what does it go for? Because if this thing goes, yeah, because if this goes for 80,000, I think that it just speaks well.
Wait. It's a minute repeater also. It's a perpetual calendar minute repeater.
All right, that makes more sense.
The minute repeater, I mean, I don't know, retrograde. Okay, so minute repeater platinum. That's more of a, you know. Okay, so this, I mean, it might have been like, you know, 200 grand new or something from minute repeater. Yeah.
Yeah, but it would still just be interesting to see if there is any demand for Breguet as a brand in general.
Especially at this price level. Yeah. Basically a modern Breguet at this price level. That would be interesting. Yeah. So make a note of that. We'll have to follow up. Right. This is a cool looking watch, actually. This over here. See, here's the thing. You know, the Patek, you know, they have this look with it's they got a lot of the same motifs as Patek, but for the Breguet, somehow it works because, you know, I don't know. It's somehow they work. It's a funky watch, but it works, I think.
Yeah, I think a brand has more leeway when it's just been around like forever. Then it's kind of like, you know, you kind of got this design that's like not quite modern, but it's not quite old, and just kind of like, you know, when a brand's been around long enough, it could just be like, all right, maybe just from the era that it was produced in.
Yeah, look at this. 36 millimeter. That's a good size. Circa 2003. So this is you get a date. What do you got here? Actually, hold on a second. What do you got going on here? You got a date. Where are the minutes? That's like a minute track, but that might be confusing if you have the date.
Yeah. So okay. So the squiggly hand is the date.
And is the date? Yeah.
Yeah. The other center hand that's got to be the minutes, and then in the sub dial that's the hour. So it's a regulator setup. So it's like a regulator watch with with a date hand and a power reserve.
I don't know. I don't know if I like this. No, yeah. The thing with the minutes, it's a little bit the idea, because the minute hand, and because you have the numbers for the days of the week, it could become confusing. It's just a little bit. I don't know. It's a little bit annoying. Yeah, that's probably why that's probably why they don't even do that watch anymore. Okay, this is a little bit better. No, what about this Breguet? Is this a perpetual? Is it a calendar? What is this? This is an annual calendar, right? Date, moon. Yeah, date, moon. 9 grand, 10 grand. Huh. Not a bad value for let's call for 10 grand or something like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Date, moon. Okay. Let's see. You got my chronograph here. 1969. And this is a crisp bezel. Actually, no, it's not that crisp, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape. No, it's a little bit. No, it's okay. The dial is wrecked. The dial is wrecked. Interesting to see what. Yeah. The chronograph. Okay, so I think what else they have? That's okay. So, they got a few more pieces, and that's it. We got a few more. We're wrapping up. We're in the final stretch. Nice Rolex 1947. Beautiful watch. It might go cheap. The black with the rose gold is stunning. If you need a dress watch, why would somebody buy a 1908? Why would somebody buy a 1908, a modern watch, which is, again, that's like a crayon eater watch for 20 grand, whatever it is, right? When you can buy this beautiful, charming, real Rolex. This is a real Rolex for, let's call it 6 grand.
Oh, we have a request from the chat asking to look at 275.
Ah, line of menu. Lot 275. Which one is lot 275? Oh, where was that? Which one was that? Which one was 275?
It's on the previous page.
What was he talking about? $275. The Louis Vuitton he was talking about. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. No, the colors. Yeah, that's right. No, it has those it's got those rainbow flag colors a little bit. No, it's got some sort of weird. It's got something weird is going on with this dial. The pyramid, definitely the pyramid. It's the pyramid. He's got the Illuminati. Why would they have a pyramid, right? Why would they have a pyramid here? It's weird. What does Louis Vuitton have to do with pyramids? So it's a whole weird. It's a weird looking watch. It's very innovative, though. You got to give him credit. I give him a lot of credit for doing that design. I just think they could have done it better. I think that it's something they could have done better. Wait. Okay, so let's go back to where were we? 3. Okay, we're wrapping up. This guy threw us off. Okay, so we got some Frank Mullers. Okay, we got these ugly ones here. Oof, I wouldn't be caught dead with one of these. I think the thing with Frank Muller, you got to have a complication. You got to have one of these real grand complications, like a triple world time or something like that. We got a Harry Winston. Always interesting to look at Harry Winston, right? Huh. You think this is ever going to catch on? Do you think that people are going to get into these at some point or no?
No, I don't think so. I don't think the brand itself has enough, I guess, like marketing push behind it. It's just not well known enough.
No, but it's one of the okay.
And even if they did, right, because Harry Winston, they're like, I mean, sometimes you see ads for them, but they're going after like the super niche, like super high end market.
Yeah, so they are.
Yeah, but I guess but all the hype watches though, they're watches that kind of like they're attainable at the kind of just like like tomato can level. So I just don't see Harry Winston doing that to their brand.
Okay. Okay, we got Ulysse Nardin. We got we got some independents here. Let's take a look. You get this. What is this? This is interesting. It's got some weird. It's like a weird crash looking watch, right?
Yeah.
Gold plate. Oh, what the fuck? What? Why do they have this here? I don't want to see this. Gold plated. I don't want to know about gold plated. Okay.
Can we go back to the previous page and look at lot 332? It's the Rolex clock, or desk watch.
That's on the previous page?
Or is it this page? It's this page up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Shit.
Right there. Yeah. So what do you think about this? Just because I've never seen this from Rolex before.
It's basically like a pocket watch size, right? I've seen I've seen one of these things on eBay. So this is small. This is like 36 millimeter, basically. It's It's like a pocket watch almost, but you can put it on your desk. It's like I don't know. It's almost like buying a Rolex pocket watch. Like they made these pocket watches for like you can get like a 1940s or 30s Rolex pocket watch for like a couple of grand in steel. I don't know. What would you buy that?
I think it's interesting. I don't know if I would buy it, but it's since you're in the market for a pocket watch, perhaps something you
I'm
might
not
be
really
interested in.
market. I'm not in the market. I'm like I'm intrigued.
Yeah, just you're entertaining.
But it's the thing is like it's limited use. It's kind of like it has to be something which is like really interesting, like where it's not just time, because otherwise like yeah. So okay, we got the travel. Go ahead.
You're gonna have to get the Patek Egret that we reviewed a couple of streams ago.
Oh yeah. No, it's no. I don't like that. I don't like that. To me, that's gimmicky. I mean, it's beautiful work. It's just that's kind of a gimmicky, that stuff. I'm not into this type of like painting on the watch. Here is an interesting. This could be somebody might get a deal here possibly. So we got a Patek Travel Time, right? So it's a dual time watch, but this is the Gobelin edition in rose gold, pink gold, and you got the Gobelin stamp. So this one looks different. The hands look different than the regular one, which I have in yellow gold, and I think those watches are actually pretty good value right now. You can pick them up for like under 20 grand. You're getting a kind of a modern looking. You're getting a modern looking Patek. Again, I'm not crazy about the fonts that they have on the in the actually. You know what else? No, this is different. So on the regular one, you got the 3, 6, 9 type of thing happening. Here, it's just stick markers, which is an interest. It's a more cleaner look. So it's interesting what Gobelin did with them. Gobelin kind of, I guess, said, "Hey, here's what we want." But yeah, it's a good alternative. I think to like a Calatrava. I mean, it's a very modern looking to this day.
Yeah, it's got the ears on the left, like on the
the pushers.
Oh, those are pushers, yeah.
Yeah. No, those are. It's not a fake thing like a Nautilus. No, those are the pushers for to adjust the time, the time to the second hand, the travel or the local, whatever it is you want to use. So let's take a look. Okay, so we got some pocket watches. You got a nice Ellipse, another Gobelin Ellipse in this white gold. Yeah, 1973. You got this flaking happening here, which is very common. Let's see what happens with Ellipse. Let's see what happens with the Ellipse market. Okay, this is cool. Have you ever seen these Patek lighters?
I have not.
Oh, they're amazing. And this is factory seal. Oh, actually, I guess from a service they sealed it. So it's in the seal. It's like an enamel. It's almost like a Fabergé egg, this enamel, right? The weird thing is this, right? It's a lighter, but the bottom where it's rounded. I don't know how this stands up. It's an ellipse lighter basically. It's the ellipse shape. It's just a lighter, but they're really expensive. I mean, they're very collectible, I guess, because they're kind of rare. They're pretty rare. I mean, this is big in the 70s, I guess. It's kind of like an alternative to the DuPont lighter. And these prices are fucking crazy.
Okay, so do you know those lighters were they actually sold or were they just kind of given out as gifts?
No, they were sold. No, these were sold. No, these were sold. Yeah, when people smoked more, Yeah, these were sold. These were. I think there's one guy. There's some guy in the Middle East, like some sheikh guy who collects these. And there's not a lot in the world, so he probably has like every one of them. Yeah, very expensive. Very expensive. I mean, $20,000 for a lighter. And, let's say you lose the lighter because, it's not like you have it attached to your wrist. I mean, yeah, you're smoking or whatever you're doing, right? You go to a restaurant, you're sitting outside, you're smoking, you leave it on the table, or it falls out of your pocket. That's 20 grand. So what do? You keep it at home? Here's another great Rolex. 3,000 to 5,000. I think it's a pretty good deal. $3,000 to 5,000 for a Rolex gold with a dial. Look at the dial. It's a little bit, it's got some. The hands are beautiful. Are these the original hands? I think these are. I'm assuming they're original.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing too. Because it's got that look.
What a beautiful, clean, modern design. The fonts. Look at the beautiful fonts on the numbers. What year is this? We don't know. It's probably like late 30s, early 40s. So it says 1938. 1938, 34 millimeter. Wow. Pink and gold, manual wind. It's a good looking watch. Yeah. I think they just got lazy. I think Rolex just got lazy. They decided, hey, let's just make stuff, that makes money. That's, let's just do stuff that, we know works and just focus on that. We get Gerald Gentas. Always interesting to see what happens with the Gerald Genta perpetual calendar. Lapis moon phase. And it's got a leap year indicator.
Do you think this is a watch Kirby would get?
No. This is too. No, I think this is. Wow, look at the nice rotor in the back. Yeah, this is really nice in the back.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that. It like almost blends in. I didn't catch it at first. I thought it was like, is this manual?
It's great.
Yeah, they did a good job.
This is a very, very funky design. The bracelet, the whole thing is very funky. It's very funky. 1980. In 1980, this could have been like. Actually for 1980, this would have been like on the money kind of, this would have been like, sort of post-disco era, Miami cocaine era type of thing. It's that type of watch. And these were very expensive, very expensive. I think there's a guy, what's the guy? There's this Italian dealer who lives in Miami now. What the hell is his name? Parmigiani? No. Is it Parmigiani? No, not Parmigiani. That's the guy from the other. No, it's is it Parmigiani? Davide? No, it's shit. It'll come to me. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I think he bought one of these, but with some other really crazy complication for like big money, and the service was like, it was in the tens of thousands. I think like 30 grand
for a regular service. Nothing was replaced.
I think so. Yeah, but it was a different watch. It had much more. It was His name is I don't know. It'll come to me. But and I think, he's into these like weird vintage stuff. He's been like pushing the Daniel Roth stuff. I bet he's like accumulating these Gerald Gentis, and then he's like later gonna like try to push these very hard.
We
There's not a
got
lot.
Kirby's watch.
Oh yeah. This is yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny. So here's the thing, right? So you look at this, right? This is what bothers me, right? You got this very chunky bracelet, right? Very cool, right? You got tourmaline, diamonds, yellow gold. You got the whole 60s vibe. And the watch, it's a wide, chunky watch, right? It's like a bracelet, right? Yeah. So why would they put in this tiny little, look at this lazy thing that they did. They just, popped in their standard, lady size thing here. It's like, what a waste. What a waste. Maybe they were thinking, wow, otherwise, if we use a regular size or men's size, people will think this is I don't know. How would anybody think this is a men's watch? No, this is actually quite cool. Except this thing this bothers me, this very lazy thing that also Patek was doing at that time. Remember we talked about that?
Yes, yeah. All right, so I wonder who's going to buy this, because it has a portrait of someone's face on there.
Yeah, it's King Saud from Saudi Arabia. King Saud. This is a Universal Genève. Probably a Saudi, 1955. Universal Genève gold. Let's take a look. We got some pocket watches.
Yep. So we're gonna have a lot of pocket watches coming up, and then when I was looking at these, I was thinking about the Patek pocket watches with the stands, and then so we were talking about that. We were saying like, all right, well, you either get like the the best on the selection, or you get like most of them. You get like a collection of at least 5 or 6, and sell them. At that time I thought, yeah, that makes sense. But now after seeing these available pocket watches, I'm not so sure that the value is there in the Patek pocket watches, because for some, yeah, go ahead.
No, but in terms, in what way?
All right, just because, right? The beauty of the watches, I don't feel like it greatly surpasses anything that not anything that, but the better examples that we see here on this auction. So the only difference between those watches and then these is just the stand, which you can have probably designed for like a few $1,000s. Oh,
no, wait, no. Oh, so the Patek. Oh, no, the watch. I mean, really, no. These are much more complicated than everything else. No, those watches are basically what you're paying for is the artwork, the hand craftsmanship. That's all. That's what you're paying for. And the Patek. You're paying for the Patek name, really. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for like a rarity thing. It's not I wasn't recommending that as a like, hey, this makes a lot of sense as an investment. I'm saying, yeah, maybe for some guy who's crazy and whatever and wants to, because again, you're getting a one-off, right? So it's like, somebody out there who's a Patek super fan who's got, money to burn. Yeah, for them it makes sense. But they're not worth the money. I would never buy a modern Patek pocket watch. That's like ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous. You can get a great vintage. I mean, if you're gonna get a pocket watch, if you're gonna go through the trouble of having a pocket watch, you might as well have a vintage pocket watch. Then you have the full look. It doesn't make sense to have a new one. But this is what you get. Look, for $10,000, you get a perpetual calendar, minute repeater. That's full gold. $12,000, let's call it. And these actually sell for like $10,000, $12,000. Let's see. I was at the Miami Beach Antique Show. I saw two of these, and the guy was offering them for like $3,000 a piece, or I think 3,500 a piece. One of them was not working though. Like, so it's it's the same thing. The gondola from Brazil. I mean, this is kind of like their basic, I think they're kind of cool. They're very big. I think this was what? Yeah, 55 millimeter. Yeah, these are quite big. Okay. Yeah, this is a Kirby thing right here. Piaget enamel, 1960. The only thing is the face is very basic, right? All you're getting is this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's not really anything special. Let's see. You got a lot of pocket watches here. A lot of pocket watches. This is a cool one. Look at this. Look at this. Let's do a close up here. Let's zoom in. Look at that. It's like a sunburst or something. Sunburst.
No, it's
look at it. You got different ones. You got waves, whatever. This has the whole Breguet vibe, no?
It does.
$6,000. Okay, let's look inside. Oh, wait. This is a musical. It's a quarter repeater. You know what a quarter is? It's not a minute. It's a quarter repeater. But it doesn't make a chime. I think it probably plays music. You got a little music box. I wonder if it works. That would be cool.
Yeah.
How does that look? Does it look restored?
I mean, like all of the ones that we've seen today where it was open, everything looks too clean inside.
Yeah. You get this coin edge. No. Para Généré à Metz. 1800s. How big is this watch? 57 millimeter. Yeah, so now you got to find out the condition. If this thing, because you can't really repair this. I mean, I guess you can, but it's going to cost a fortune. Especially if the sound is not working. You got to find somebody, to do that. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Whoa. This is interesting. Double signed Patek Philippe Cartier. I think that's better than Tiffany. That's cool. You get two brand names in one. Cartier. Great looking watch. It needs a little bit of a cleanup, but no. Yeah, what is this? 50s? 68. 1968? Let's see the catalog notes. Doesn't have any catalog notes. 36 millimeter. Okay. Wow. This is gonna be a lot of interest in something like this.
Yeah,
we'll
have to see. Well,
yeah.
Right, so this is lot 456.
Yeah. This is interesting. Okay. We have reached the conclusion here. Thank you everybody for joining. Baron, thank you again.
Yep.
And
you
let's find out.
Yeah, we have to pick the I guess the winner of the reviews. Like, which ones really stood out to you? Like, if you had to bet on one, which one would it be?
In terms of what? In terms of what's going to be like what? Like which one I like, or which one is going to have some crazy whatever?
Both. For if one stood out to you in particular for whatever reason, either you like it or you think it's going to be like a really good buy.
Oh shit! I already forgot. I mean, the one I like. I'm actually intrigued by that AP, the World Time Perpetual. I don't think it's anything special in terms of like, look. I think it's a good value at the right price. I don't see that watch as like, I think it's an interesting watch, but I don't see that as something that's going to have any type of, potential for big increase. This is an interesting one for sure. Cartier, Patek Philippe, that could get some crazy number. Could get like, I don't know, 20 grand. I mean, which is not crazy, but it's like more than you would think for this. Which one? We made some notes, right? Did you make the notes? I forgot what it was. I already went through so many watches.
Yeah.
The Frank Muller. The Frank Muller to me is the top pick.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking probably we should investigate more the AP perpetual calendar, the one that was like noted as 30 millimeters. So if that's a typo, just because that typo might I guess reduce demand for that watch, and that could potentially be you get it for a good price.
I don't know about that. I don't think people are gonna. I think people know that watch. I think it's 30. They know that watch, unless we're completely both wrong, and this is really. No, it's. I'm curious what they're going for now. Hang on a second. Let's take a look. Let's take a look on Chrono, what those perpetuals are going for. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of them before. Okay, let's take a look. Audemars Perpetual, Constantin. No, they're still up there. They're still around 16,000. So they've come down a little bit. They've come. No, they're basically they've come. I think they're coming down a little bit. No, for sure they're coming down because they went to like, I don't know. Yeah, they were going for 8 grand. All of a sudden, they went bananas. I think if you find the right one, the right like, because you want to get, you want to get the proper. What do you call it? The buckle, the brace. Yeah, it's the strap, the buckle is. I was looking for one which had a deployant. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Although probably that was probably a mistake. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm looking on Chrono. They're all they're like the cheapest one is like 16 grand. So. I think they're going to come down in price. I think like people try to make this, they try to like give this a whole push, and obviously, look, how many of these do they have? They got, there's quite a few. There's quite a few of them out there. Yeah, I think this is like they're going to kind of float back. I don't think they're ever going to get to. I don't think they're going to go below 12 though. I think they're going to stay kind of in this 10, 12 range. Like 12. Let's take a look here. No, but some of them went crazy. Some of these prices went bananas. I'm looking here. Yeah, no, it's all right. Great. All right, Baron, thank you again. We'll see you all on the next one.
All right, catch you later.